Well, on this episode of Build a Kingdom, in this mess of a garage, we're going to start putting the body on this car. As you can see, I already mounted the yellow hood and drilled the hood pin holes, and we kind of sort of got a yellow fender hanging over there. And well, I'm going to put this silver fender over here. There. Perfect. Now, but we're going to do this. We're going to put this body on this episode. We're going to get this door back on. We're going to put that new door over there. We're going to make some stuff. Put the nose on, which you've seen in the video before. But we're going to do that again. I don't know how far we're going to take this video. Maybe we'll tape some windows off and actually put a coat of paint on this thing. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, as we go. You're going to go along this ride with me. I guess we don't really need purple roll bar padding anymore, but meh, you won't see it inside the car. But that's what we're doing. We got a little body hammering to do on these quarter panels. That one just fell and got a dent in it, so that's cool. So, I don't think I really need to talk anymore. Let's get to it. All right, so you just time-lapse, watched me kind of sort of rivet this panel on quick. On the top here, I kind of like to use these smaller rivets. They probably don't hold as well. They definitely don't hold as well. It's not an exploding rivet, just a regular old rivet, but a smaller head. I don't know. Cosmetic, smaller. They're not quite as noticeable. As you can see, I do use a lot of them. And if you watch the time-lapse, you notice I walked along. We've talked about this before, where you keep moving down the panel because it keeps the panel flatter and tighter against the panel. If you jump around back and forth, you'll get waves in parts of panel that want to stick up higher than the rest of it. But if you slowly, you saw some duct tape on here. I kind of had it hanging with some duct tape so I knew where I wanted it. And then Gorilla Tape, you know, the good stuff. And then I just walked along it with the smaller rivets all the way up and back to here. This back bumper cover, piece of duct tape stuck right there. See if I can fish that out of there. Ow, got my finger stuck. So, yeah, there, got that out of there. So, here, I actually use, my hand got stuck. These, but that's probably not the one for there. Maybe it goes like this. I don't remember. But we use plates like this along the bumper cover on both sides to keep it from getting ripped off. So, we'll take these and actually run along here all the way down. And I'll actually use the exploding rivets along this edge. And then the same thing for the door edge. The door has a big aluminum plate going along it that I'll rivet down through here. And when I put the door back on, which is actually, you know, I might do the other quarter panel first, or maybe I'll hang the door. I don't know. But yeah, so the big rivets on the door, the big rivets with the exploding rivets all along the bumper cover here. I got to fix the front of this bumper cover and tuck it in here. Along the wheel well, there's not a ton there. I mean, I did leave some material, so I'll probably come along here and I might use, you know, 4 or 5. It's getting blurry on me. Oh, my finger's in the way. Smaller rivets to kind of hold this in. You can see the damage I had from before, but there's going to be a paint. There's going to be paint here. There's going to be a big graphic right here for my sponsor, so this won't be as noticeable once it's painted, and I'll work it a little bit better with the hammer, kind of shape these edges a little bit here, but yeah, I'll probably put a couple of rivets in this, but I mean, you could get some body adhesive probably and glue this to the old piece of panel that's still there. It's kind of your call how you want to fasten it, but you get the basic idea. And then, like I said, down here, the side skirt covers all this, so the side skirt will get riveted to this. My rocker got bashed in the first year, and I cut it all out and put this kind of Nerf bar thing down here. I very well may drill a hole through this and rivet everything down just to keep it from flapping, because there's really nothing left down here anymore to hold this. So I'll probably put the side skirt on and put a rivet right into this tube, a couple rivets maybe to keep it from, so it doesn't flap, because the whole door panel, the door panel's hooked to this and the door panel's hooked to the fender, but there's nothing on the bottom anymore to hook to. So I'll probably drill a hole and rivet it to this Nerf bar. On your car, you could do it to what's left of your rocker panel. I don't have that anymore. So 5 years. It's a lot of racing. It's a lot of beating and banging. So that's where we're at. We're doing pretty good, moving along here. I got my cast off. We got a little brace that I'm supposed to wear now while I'm working on stuff. It's got a piece of aluminum in the palm of it here, but we got 5 working fingers now. These bottom back 2 here, my ring and my pinky are a little stiff from being stuck for a month, but hey, we can get stuff done. I cut my finger already. I'm bleeding. But yeah, so quarter panel's on. We got multiple different colors going on here. We're moving forward. Let's keep going. Okay, so I might have jumped ahead a little bit, but I'm on a time crunch here, okay? Some shit's got to get done around here. As you can see, my door panel's on. I got to take my heat gun and stuff and get all the graphics off of it, but the only graphics really are that sponsor and that number, and I guess that Cobalt Crew sticker back there. But the stars, stripes, that stuff, I take that back. The stars are vinyl. But the blue, the red, white, and stuff, the yellow and black back there, that's not vinyl. That's paint. So we'll just sand that down. Okay. Got the rivet strip here, holding this on. I actually threw the ground effect on because I was already here on this side doing stuff. So this is on. I mentioned before that I was probably going to put a rivet into that little Nerf bar thing I had down there, so I didn't have a rocker panel. So that's what this one is. No flappy flappy. Did the same thing back here. Rivet down low, no flap. This here. So right here, these rivets, these 4, they actually go through the yellow panel and the little chunk that I left on here to mount the yellow panel too. So this is actually going through 3 layers to keep everything attached to the car. So that's what we got going on there. That's on there. The only thing I gotta do the rivet panels around the bumper cover on the back still. But this side is done. We gotta do the nose and those rivet panels there. We gotta put the quarter panel, the door on the other side, which is a little more messing around. We got to unbolt the door handle from the other side. You can see I got a little rivet panel over the door handle for this side. So I'm gonna have to go out and steal the rivet panel for the door handle off my old door panel, take that door handle off. I think I'm gonna move from here though to the back bumper cover and get those rivet panels on. You don't really need to see that. So I'm gonna keep moving forward. I have Dyno Day, April 1st. I'm gone to Florida for a few days next week. I am gonna take you guys with me because we're, taking a page out of Derek's book from Vice Grip. We're gonna drive an old truck back from Florida. We might even hook a trailer to it and bring another car back. I haven't decided yet. So, yeah, that's what we're doing in the next episode after this episode. We'll be driving back from Florida with that truck, and hopefully everything goes well. But, time crunch. April 1st is Dyno Day. So I need to get the body hung on this car because this weekend I'm going to put this motor back in this car so we can go to Dyno Day. April 8th is technically opening weekend at Outlaw Speedway, and with any luck, I would like to make that. But I'm going to need luck because I am running out of time. The car will be probably, maybe, possibly painted. I don't know. I'm running out of time. So I'm not going to sit here and time lapse this. It takes too long to set the video up. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rivet strips on the back bumper, and I'm going to move to the other side, and I'll come back in a minute and show you when I get a little bit further. Let's go. All right, we got a little bit of a mess here, but at this point, the entire body is on the car except for the nose. That side's on. Side skirts are on. Rear bumper cover's on. Yeah, I've talked about before my shop's not real big, but okay, that's where we're at. So I got to get the heat gun out and start removing a bunch of decals. Lots of decals. We got to remove a whole bunch of decals. Yeah, so got to get decals off, scuff her down, and get a coat of paint on her. Get the nose on, and then the body's on the car done. But this weekend we got to get this thing over on the other side of the shop so I can get the motor in it, which means this thing's got to get out of here. But that's where we're at. The whole body's on the car except for the nose. So moving along, we're getting there. I'm going as fast as I can, but a little bit every night after work. Tomorrow I'm actually taking a half day so I can try to get all the graphics off and hopefully get it scuffed and maybe get a coat of paint on it. Maybe, possibly. I hope so. Probably not, but we're going to try. All right, see you tomorrow. All right, so I'm over here fighting taking graphics off here, which I don't ever enjoy, and my thumbnail hurts. But, yeah, like numbers are pretty easy. You just grab them and can take your time. You can peel them off in a big piece. But then you get like to this small stuff. You can see there used to be a decal here. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get off. You got to pick each finger or each letter off. Kind of a pain in the butt. You know, same up here. My name used to be there. So then I got all the way back to the back of the car, and when it came to some of these ones that were on here, they'd been on there for, you know, a long time. Like these bottom ones have been here for a few years, and they do not want to come off. They're just kind of falling apart. And then I was like, well, come over here. And I got my name up there and stuff. I had bought one of those stripper wheels, and I originally bought it to like take the double back tape off after you pull off, you know, like a rub rail and stuff when you're doing this. And it works great for that. But I was like, you know what? Let's try this thing. See how this works. So I took that thing and I used it up here on my name, and it smeared a little bit, but it took it off quick. So I'm gonna have to come back with some thinner and stuff and get some of this smeared glue out of here. I mean, I could probably run the wheel over it a couple more times to get a lot more of it off. But I used it there, and then I used it down here, and it took the same graphic that was over there, the E-Tech Surplus graphic, off. Again, I'm gonna have to come back and maybe hit it again and then get some thinner and get the glue off that's smeared a little bit here. But let me show you how fast this thing works, if I can hold the camera and do it at the same time. Watch this, okay? I don't know if I can do it. Can I hold it? I need to open the trunk and have both hands, but look at that. See how fast that came off? Ah, the wheel just fell off. But anyways, it works mint. So that's about the only tip I have for you. I mean, heat guns help on some of the bigger stuff, but they tend to leave glue behind. And yeah, it just, taking vinyl off is really not fun. But this little wheel thing I got on eBay for, I don't even know how much it cost. I think it was pretty cheap, but I didn't tighten it up good, obviously. It works good for taking like these small ones and stuff off. It burns them off there real fast. It's the only tip I got for you when it comes to taking vinyl off. Sorry. Yeah, I might have jumped ahead a little bit. So we've got the body and everything all riveted on at this point. I don't even know where I left off with the video. But I wiped everything down, cleaned it good. Then I went through and I scuffed it all down with Scotch-Brite. I actually had to take my palm sander and sand some of this door and some of the roof area back there where the star used to be, because there was edges, tape edges from the different colors and stuff. So we scuffed all that down. And then I took the white and I started doing like all the edges and gaps and, you know, filler panels and stuff, so that when I went to roll it with white paint, it would just be easier, because it's hard to get into all the nooks and crannies and stuff with the roller. And I bought these big cans of Rust-Oleum, and I kind of just kept going. So now I don't even think I'm going to roll it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and spray the whole thing white, because I have white and it seems to be covering pretty good. So that's just the first coat. I mean, the second coat should cover it the rest of the way. You won't be able to see anything that was there before. It'll just be white. And the nose isn't on the car, but the nose is white. So, and I have white aluminum here laying on the floor. So the filler panels will be white, the nose will be white, and if I need to touch up a couple spots, I have a can of white spray paint, so not a big deal. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going with this spray paint and paint this whole thing white. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Sweet. I just pushed the parts car outside. You think that thing was a little rusty underneath? I started sweeping up, and then I was like, man, I gotta show these guys how rusty that thing was. That's all the rust that just fell off while it was in here. Me picking it up on the lift and stuff. That's pretty bad. So we got white on the car. I know what you're thinking. Hey, you can see through it right there. Yeah, that part's not gonna be white. So the parts that are gonna be white are white. As you can see, the white's taped off now. This is my wife's favorite part because she can never see the vision of where I'm headed with something. But we got the portion that's staying white taped off. And the portion that's going to be blue is not taped off. As you can see here, one side of the car is going to be different than the other side of the car. Opposites. We're going for that kind of weird craziness thing going on here. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to... I thought I had a gallon of blue paint and metallic blue paint, and I don't. I dug through all my paint. Somebody gave me a bunch of paint, and one of them I thought was metallic blue, and it is not. And I know Rust-Oleum makes a metallic blue. I know that. I went to the website. I see that. Unfortunately, nowhere in my area has the metallic blue. So, we are going to try to make our own metallic blue. I don't know how this is going to go. We're going to try to make our own metallic blue. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So, wish me luck. I'm going to spray this, and then we'll see what happens, I guess. Here we go. You ever been in the middle of doing something and been like, this is probably not a good idea? She looks like a bass boat. Hey, listen, you don't know unless you try, right? And you experiment. So, yeah, I mean, when you're standing back, it's blue. And when you're up close, it's sparkly. I just sprayed glitter. Glitter paint on top of blue. I think I'm going to dust some blue over that just to knock it down a hair. Going fishing. Yeah, we're gonna try to knock that down here. I mean, when you're back here, it just looks blue. So, I mean, I guess it's not that big a deal, but and I remember this blue being a lot lighter. Maybe it dries lighter. It looks weird because it's on the white. It looks dark. It's the same blue that I used on the doctor's car. The back of the doctor's car, the one we just did, is this same color blue. But for some reason, it looks really dark right now. This is weird. Maybe it dries a little bit lighter, but oh well, it's on there now. It is what it is. I hope this comes out okay. Either way, this is the last you get to see of this car for a little while. Like I said, I'm going to Florida this week. We're going to put the motor in it. You don't really need to see that. You've seen me put motors in before. Yeah, I'm going to try to tone this sparkle down a hair with a little bit more blue. Yeah, next time you see this car, it's going to have the rest of the colors on it. Yeah, there's some more colors we're doing. It's not just blue and white. That would be boring. We got 3 more colors and then graphics on top of those colors. So that's next time you see it, it'll already have that on there. I'm not even going to tape it off and show you doing that. So next time you see this car, it's going to have the other 3 colors on it, which if you were paying attention when I went over to the table, you would have seen the colors sitting on the table. So, well, definitely keep it creative and happy building.